Hi class, today our lesson is going to be about multiplying with decimals. Okay, and as you can see on the screen, it says count the number of decimal places in the factors. The product will have the same number of decimal places. So that's the main difference between just multiplying multi-digit numbers without decimals. Remember, the product is going to be the answer to the multiplication problem. So the product for this problem is going to be this number right here. That's going to be the answer. So we're going to start with this problem. 2 and 13 hundredths times 2 and 4 tenths. Okay, the main thing is you have to remember to line up your numbers. Make sure your 4 is under your 3, your 2 under your 1, and I know this isn't lined up that well on the screen. So once you start multiplying, you follow the same exact steps as before. So while you're actually solving the problem, don't worry about any decimals right now. Just ignore the decimals and multiply as normal. Okay, so we're going to multiply. Remember the bottom number to the right that's in the ones place times every number at the top from right to left. So we start with the ones place at the bottom and the ones place at the top. So 4 times 3 is 12. I write down my 2, carry my 1 on top of the 1. Then I'm going to multiply 4 times 1 is 4, plus the 1 I carried is 5. And then I multiply 4 times 2 is 8. So before I move to the second number at the bottom, I make sure I've multiplied 4 times every number at the top. So I did 4 times 3, 4 times 1, and then 4 times 2. Remember, before I can move to the second number at the bottom, I have to add a 0 under the ones place as a placeholder. Then I can start multiplying the 2 times every number at the top from right to left. So now that I've added my 0, I'm going to start multiplying by the 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. And 2 times 2 is 4. So now that I've multiplied this 2 by every number at the top from right to left, now I can go ahead and add my 2 rows together. So I'll put a plus sign there. I'm going to add 0 plus 2 is 2. 6 plus 5 is 11. Write down my 1, carry a 1 on top of the 8. 2 plus 8 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. I write down my 1, carry my 1 on top of the 4. And remember, you always write down the number in the ones place, carry the number in the tens place. And then 1 plus 4 is 5. Now that I've added the 2 rows together, now I'm going to add my decimal places. So I'm going to go back to my problem and I'm going to see how many numbers are to the right of the decimal in 2 and 13 hundredths. And if I count, there's a 1 and there's a 3. So that's 2 numbers to the right of the decimal in the first number. So that's why I have 2 decimal places. Then I'm going to go to the second number and count. How many numbers are to the right of the decimal place? A 4. So that's 1 decimal place. So if I add 2 plus 1 together, I get 3 decimal places. Because if I count how many numbers in the problem are to the right of the decimal, that's 1, 2, 3 numbers in total. So I have to have 3 numbers to the right of the decimal place in my answer. So I start at the end of the number and I count 1, 2, 3, and then I put the decimal there. So I look and make sure after I place my decimal that there are 3 numbers to the right of the decimal, and it is. So the answer to my problem is 5 and 112 thousandths. And that is how you multiply with decimals. All you have to do is multiply the normal way, and then you add how many decimal numbers are to the right of the decimal in the problem, and then that's how many numbers should be to the right of the decimal in your answer. Over here, it's just showing a different method that we've gone over in class, and you can use this method if you choose to, but here's the regular method on how to multiply with decimals. Okay, I am going to give you a few problems to do for homework. Okay, for homework, I want you to complete these 4 problems that you see on the screen in green. The first one is 5 and 68 hundredths times 4 and 3 tenths. Next one is 7 and 6 tenths times 9 and 8 tenths. The next one is 24 and 1 tenths times 7 and 3 tenths. And the last one is 3 and 55 hundredths times 6 and 7 tenths. Okay, so for homework, you only have these 4 problems to complete. Again, if you're having problems, you can always pause or rewind this video and go back to the section that you're having trouble with. You can also ask someone at home to help you. Okay, kids, good luck on your homework. Make sure you complete these 4 problems, and I will see you in the morning.